So I have now hit record, so we can let it run for a minute or so while we talk about something. Oh man, the old man sent me. So every time I go visit the parents,
Yeah.
in the before times,
Yes.
I would. The first thing I would do is hug the parents, and then I'd go to the cookie jar and eat a cookie. And the old man would invariably go, "What are you doing? Get out my damn cookies!" And then I'd eat it and be like, "What cookie?" So that, because it's just a routine we have.
Yeah.
And Mom had a doctor's appointment here in this town. And so she was going to bring me some leftovers and another piece of watermelon that the old man didn't want. And she's like, "Oh yeah, there's something extra in there." And I went, "Yeah, I saw the watermelon, because it's hard to miss in a plastic bag, a giant chunk of watermelon." She goes, No. The old man sent you some cookies." I said, "Oh, why did he send me cookies?" She's like, "Well, since you can't come steal the cookies, he decided to just send you some." And I was like, "Oh." So yeah, I am holding here some Oreos that are half chocolate, half peanut butter, and they're the brown Oreos, not black.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what flavor the cookie itself is, but I had one earlier, and they're freaking delicious. So yay.
Awesome.
And yes, DoorDash does have the option to leave the food and take a picture, but there wasn't like a door anywhere, so I asked her where she wanted me to leave it, and she said to just hang on a second and she'd come out and grab it. So, but I wasn't gonna leave it sitting in front of a house that was obviously not finished. Like the door didn't even have knobs or anything in it. It was just a piece of wood with holes in it. And I'm going, "Hello?" It was very strange. It's like, I don't think this is the place. And I walked out and looked at the number and looked at my phone. I'm like, this is the place. I don't think this is the place.
This is not your two-story house. That is not your beautiful wife.
Anyway. Alright, so that's almost 3 minutes of extra recording, so it should have started recording by now. Yes. By the way, if anyone is considering getting into DoorDash, let me know and I'll send you a link. A referral link. Alright, you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Ow, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mana Pool. This is episode 596 of the Mana Pool, and this is a momentous occasion.
Unprecedented might be not an oversell of this.
Yeah, so, you guys know that we do this custom RPG thing that Brian made up some time ago, and we do it periodically. And how long has it been since our last episode of the RPG?
2 years.
No, the one, the last one, the most recent one.
We're trying to think about it. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a whole week. We're doing 2 RPG episodes back to back. This is unreal.
Unprecedented.
Random K host at 168 hours. You know what? That's probably right too. Is that right?
Probably.
Sounds like it should be.
I can't math that fast. 24 times 7 is 168 hours. Yeah. So, hello. I am Chewy, and my character is the Angel. She has a sword, and she will not take your crap. Who are you other people?
Hey, I'm Brian. I'm the GM, the game manager, game master, game guy, gaming. If
Neil Gaiman?
Game Watch.
if this
Mr. Gaiman Watch?
Game and
Game and Watch.
Neil Gaiman watch? Put Morpheus in Smash, you cowards.
What if I told you?
Not that Morpheus. That one too, though. Sure, go for it. Hi, Brian.
Hey, I'm here, and I'm here to lead these guys on this adventure that we're going through. So, that's what I'm doing.
And go ahead.
I'm Mike, and in this game, I am Kareem, the soldier and navigator with varying degrees of success. I did okay last time. Not as good as I could have done, but okay.
And I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greatest man alive, who is Alaric, who is a cleric with a penchant for lighting worms on fire.
Who is a what?
Has a penchant for, or I'm a monk.
There you go.
Yes, I was like, wait, I didn't.
Oh, sorry, I said a cleric, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah.
Sorry, monk. Monk who has a penchant for lighting worms on fire.
I mean, you did it once. I don't know if it counts as a pension.
Yeah, you got to do it a couple more times before it's a penchant or a hobby or, a preference.
All right, challenge accepted.
Oh, God.
How many worms do you think there are in this game?
I don't know, Brian. How many worms are there in this game?
So, first of all, one quick rule for chat. Look, I'm not modding this. I can't stop you from saying anything. But we had an extremely unusual situation come up last time. So just as a quick recap, these guys were on their way to Aosk to try and find a gentleman named Gander, see if they could find out something from him before they went back to the Donathier's tower. And they were going over a small hill, and it turned out the small hill was in fact an arrogant worm, not just like a modest worm or a humble worm. Now that'd be like a 1-1, right? No, it was an arrogant worm. And in the process of dealing with it, Mike went into the woods to try and circumvent it, while the others, went another way, and then the worm blew up. And I'm trusting these guys didn't, listen to the episode to find out stuff that they're not familiar with. But as far as Mike knows, the last time he saw them, they were in one place. As far as they know, the last time they saw him, he was in one place. And that's all they know. So, chat, I would really appreciate if you did one of two things. Either don't make specific comments about what's going on, and you guys did a great job last time. Nobody said, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Or feel free to make misleading comments like, oh my God, I can't believe Kareem got turned into a banana, something like that. That would be great. So feel free.
That was my friend Pedro.
So if you make enough misleading comments, we'll be able to narrow down what actually happened.
True. So the way we have been doing this, takes a little longer to do this way, is go to whoever is doing the most pertinent thing at the moment. I talk them through it. They make their decisions, their roles. They die, they don't die, whatever. And then I switch to someone else. And while I'm doing this, anyone that's not playing has their headphones off, and we're communicating over Discord as far as when it's time to come back. So we had just reached a certain point with Dirk and Chewy. So we're going to go back to Mike now. Before Dirk and Chewy put their headphones down, I do want to say that while you guys obviously are doing different things in different places, I've been keeping track of the time, and everyone is kind of even up till now about what time of the day it is. Same day, by the way, too. It's Mike is not a week ahead of everybody else.
Now, I do need to point out that while I was dropping in ad breaks, I do know that Mike met somebody because Brian was talking to Mike in as a character. But, like, I heard about 3 seconds because I was trying to find a break to drop an ad. And as soon as Brian, like, stopped and took a breath, I was like, ad break! And then I stopped. So...
And I appreciate you trying to keep the integrity of it.
But I know that Mike met somebody, but we already knew that. Well, I already knew that from in-game. Anyway, nothing.
So,
at least I think I knew that.
So,
I can't remember now.
I'm gonna ask Chewy and Dirk to put down the headphones, and or to with Dirk was able to hit the deafen button on
Yeah. I can't do that because then the chat won't be able to hear it. So I'm just going to take my headset off. I'm also going to take advantage of the fact that I'm not going first and go check the comment again.
Okay.
See if I can see it. So are we good to take off the headset?
You're good to take off the headset.
All right.
Deafen now.
And headset off now. Bye, chat. This is so cool. I get to like walk away while I'm streaming, and it's not just dead air. This is amazing.
Is that a challenge?
Maybe. He's gone, right? Because like he said he was going, and then he kept talking. So I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
No one here is going to game the system. No one here is interested in cheating or anything like that. I honestly believe that, because what would be the point? I think we're all kind of invested in this story, right? At least that seemed to be the response I was getting. So, Mike,
Yes.
You left the worm. You were trying to find a way around it. Explosion knocked you around a little bit.
Yeah. Found Aosk, met somebody, had dinner. Now I'm waiting around for nightfall to meet with homeboy. What's his name?
Gander,
right.
Yeah. So young lady was like, okay, you were asking about trying to get back into the woods to find your friends. She was like, people that come here.
We don't go in the woods. Yeah.
We don't go in the woods. People that come here are basically people that survived the Deep Green and don't want to go back. But you came, first of all, you came here looking for Gander anyway. So, hey, sorry, I'm bringing up a thing. Okay, and then second of all, you were going there to find him, and second of all, we don't like to go back there because everyone here either was born in the village or somehow miraculously survived the Deep Green, because the Deep Green was created to basically keep every section of Trivester kind of isolated and separate. You've seen lots of horrible, awful, terrible / dangerous things in the woods. So
yeah, and it's prohibitively difficult to navigate.
Exactly.
Even if you think what you're doing is supposed to be easy,
right?
Like stay within 30 yards of your friends.
Yes, which I mean, until now, you guys have done a great job of it. All it took was an exploding worm. So, all right, so you're with this young lady. You purposely do not fall asleep, and then she comes to you a little after nightfall, and she says, all right, you want to go see Gander. He will not see people during the day. I believe he will let you approach. You want to leave her residence and follow her?
Wonderful. Yes.
All right. You leave the residence. As you recall, the town is kind of set up in these semi-concentric. It's set up in little rows of circles around a central building.
Mm-hmm.
And at the entrance to the building, earlier you noticed there were some. Do you remember what you saw out front, in front of the big gates?
Guards.
Big heavy armor.
Yes.
Tried to look inside, couldn't really get a sense of them. You don't see any guards outside now. The woman walks right up to the big heavy doors. Waits for you to catch up. Lifts a giant iron knocker and lets it go, and it makes a giant clang sound against the door. You wait the space of a couple seconds, and one of the two doors opens. Someone on the inside says something. You can't hear exactly what it is to the woman. It seems to be some sort of low whisper. She responds that there's someone here from outside the village and they want an audience with Gander. Some a little more muted conversation. She says, I don't know who he is. He doesn't seem like he's here to cause any trouble. He's come a long way to see Gander. The door opens a little wider and she turns to you and she says, I'm told he will admit you.
All
She,
right.
she, she
Before I go
starts.
in,
Yes.
before I go in, I just want to double check with you.
Yeah.
I'm not from around here, and I just want to make sure I'm polite when I'm talking with Gander. So is there anything special I should know before I go in there?
Okay. So you're asking her in character,
Yes, I am.
social norms and things like that. Okay.
Correct.
She looks you up and down. She says, I have not seen Gander in some time, um, but I think he'll respect the fact that you came to see him. I think as long as you are, um, I think as long as you are polite and you respect that he is the master of this place, he will listen to your wishes.
Okay, thank you for that.
Okay. She turns to leave. Clearly, it looks like she wants to go back home, and she stops. She slowly turns back around, again responding to some sort of low whispering coming from inside. She turns to you. They tell me I'm not allowed to leave right now. I will come in with you.
Okay.
So she,
I think I forgot to ask your name earlier. What is your name?
Alana. I'm
Alana.
Alana. Yeah.
Alana, I'm Kareem.
It's nice to meet you, Kareem. Although at this point, her face is all the blood is drained from her face. She looks very concerned. After exchanging names, she turns toward the door and walks through at a slow pace. As you follow her in.
Yeah.
Okay. As you go past through the door, you notice it's very dark in this room. The door slams shut behind you, and a torch on the wall lights up. As you take in your surroundings, I look at my notes. As you take in your surroundings, you note that it appears, while this building appeared to be fairly large outside, uh, it almost feels smaller on the inside because it appears to be one giant room with a staircase uh, on the northwest corner, going up to a second floor. But it looks to be one giant room, and it is the best way to describe this is you have been to Chandelier and Tarkir.
Hmm.
You think you've been to a laboratory before? Would you recognize a workspace or a laboratory if I was to describe it in those terms?
I don't think I would.
Okay, so you've seen the library here, so
Hmm.
you may not have had the exposure that um someone else might have had to what someone might describe as a
Yeah.
laboratory. Uh,
Science.
Science, but you recognize there's the walls are covered in books, some of which appear almost to be uh, falling off the shelf. There are tables littered with glass vials, lots of hand drawn notes, things like that. Uh, as your eyes become accustomed to the room, you notice that the girl, Alana, is now standing almost not directly in front of you, but slightly in front of you. Um, there are now two guards on the inside of the doors, flanking either exit. You don't see any other doors in this room. And on the far side of the room is a figure in a black cloak sitting in uh, what could be maybe described as a chair. It's a little more ornate than just a peasant's chair, but it's not a throne. You cannot make out the features of the figure in the black robe in this light. There is silence in the room.
Hail, Gander. My name is Kareem. I've come from very far away to find you.
A moment of silence, and then a voice emanates from under the cloak. The voice itself seems to not be particularly low pitched, but the words almost carry a chill to them, as if draining the temperature of the room as he speaks.
Hmm.
Hail, Kareem. Yes, I imagine you've come from very far away indeed. Welcome to Aosk. Or tilts the cloak to the side slightly. Perhaps I should say, welcome to Trivester entirely. And he spreads his arms in a gesture of welcome. You don't get the sense he's entirely genuine with his welcome.
Yes, I've been on Trivester for, I think, a matter of weeks now, and I'm trying to find out more about this place so that I can return home.
He leans forward. As your eyes get more adjusted, you try to get a sense of the figure beneath the cloak. You're trying to see if there's any discernible features about his face, but he's still too far away. From this distance, and we're talking about at least 40 or so feet, although again in this at night in this dark room it can be hard to tell the distance exactly. It's hard to really tell what features he has, if any. The voice seems to be male. Find out more about this place. He thinks about that phrase. That I can appreciate. Some of the travelers, call them what you will, planeswalkers, I know the word, they don't have the appetite for discovery. But I can appreciate a man willing to make sacrifices for answers. Tell me, he gestures, what do you think of my workspace?
I've seen little else like it. It definitely intrigues me, though I can't say I know. I can't say I recognize what many of the fixtures or and decorations are for.
He droops his head, perhaps a bit in disappointment. That's a shame. An inquisitive mind is interesting enough, is to be appreciated.
I've been
Still,
a soldier and adventurer all my life. I'm not much of a scholar, but I do enjoy learning things when I can.
he issues a bit of a laugh. No, a soldier, huh? I don't know how much respect I have for soldiers. Tell me, and he stands up straight, points a finger at you. What cause do you serve? Roll a d10 for me.
All right. There's a D10. Whoops, it fell off the thing. Here's a D10. A 3.
Need to roll. So you roll 3. Okay. Okay. All right. You feel an overwhelming compulsion, immediate and forceful, to tell Gander absolutely the truth. You feel like you want to tell him this, that almost like it would it would please you greater than anything else in the world to tell him everything he wants to know.
Oh boy.
So what cause do you serve?
I need to save my friends because I failed my companions so badly earlier in life.
Wow. Bonus points for role playing. Okay. He drops his hand. Companions. He looks almost wistful. Have you heard of the originator? Have you heard of Donathier?
Yes. My friends and I, we've been separated. We're on the trail of Donathier. We've already spoken to Eichel. We're coming to you to speak to you. But I don't know where my friends are right now.
He nods, as best as you can tell under the cloak. He draws the hood of it back. You see an older gentleman, somewhere between 50 or 60 years old, with cropped white hair, some white facial hair, and a face incredibly pale. His eyes look like the pupil consumes the entire eye. Absolute darkness within them. And you can see the glint of fangs as he speaks. Donathier was my closest companion. Unfortunately, I believe he's dead. And I think I know exactly who killed him. Tell me, and again he raises a finger at you, and you feel the pull of magic. What will you do if you find Donathier? What will you do if you find the one that slayed him? Roll a d10.
8.
All right. Perhaps accumulating yourself, accumulate, that's a bad word. Perhaps acclimating
Okay.
to the feel of this magic, you still feel like you should tell him the truth, but you don't necessarily feel compelled to. You don't feel an overwhelming urge to give him everything he desires. So you have more leeway. You still feel like it's probably best to tell him the truth, but you don't feel necessarily compelled to. So,
Yeah. Well,
what will you do if you find him and you find the one that slayed him?
if I find Donathier, I'll want to learn the secret that will allow me to return to my travels. If I find whoever killed him, well, who knows what's going to happen then.
He lowers his hand again. You can see what I am, can't you? Is there a word for what I am on where you come from?
I'm aware of vampires. Some that I've seen are much less human than you are, much more monstrous.
At this, he laughs. He laughs hard and long for a good minute. You don't think I'm a monster? How generous of you. Then he stops. He looks around. He says, I suppose one could see it that way. After all, I haven't always been this way. I helped create this world. I helped make it what it is. With Donathier and Eichel, we made this place. I used to be human. Eichel is a dragon. You weren't confused by her appearance, were you? What is she masquerading around as this time? Some kind of donkey? Or
Yeah,
has she stooped to something lower?
some type of donkey person, yes. I'd never seen anything like it in my life.
but you're aware that she's a dragon. She will live for millennia. The work we wanted to do here would take lifetimes, and I was invaluable to him. I found ways to extend my own life through my magical research, but I knew that I wouldn't live forever. Donathier and I worked together. I used my knowledge of magic, and he scoured the plains. He settled back into his chair. We settled on vampirism. It seemed like such a clean thing to do. You know, there are many different curses, many different forms of vampirism about through the multiverse. There's one plane where it was even invented as a cure for a royal family. On others, they're purely monsters, purely the sire of some god-forsaken baron and his mad ambition. We settled on a strain of vampirism that would still allow me to retain my humanity. He looks at his hand, closes his fist. Or so I thought. He looks at you piercingly. I believe he's dead. I felt it. There was a day, years ago, I believe, although time ceases to matter, when there was an echo, an earthquake, a tornado, some monstrous event in this land that I felt rocked the foundation of this plane, maybe every plane, and he was gone. Do you want to know why I know he's gone? Even through this incident, and he's standing up again, and he starts pacing around. He seems to be talking to you, but you get the sense that he's almost talking to himself, too.
Hmm.
Do you know why I could feel this? Not only am I attuned to the magic of this plane, but due to my strain of vampirism, one of the side effects is the ability to shift into and out of a form of mist. I was stuck in that mist form for days. I was shifting between material and immaterial when the shockwave ripped me. I barely regained consciousness. And when I came to, I was immaterial. I couldn't feel him anymore. I couldn't feel my friend anymore. It took days of concentration, of sheer willpower to force myself back into this form. And once I realized what had happened, I almost wished that I couldn't do it. I almost forgot why I was alive. My reason for helping him build this plane was gone. Then he looks up a bit. But one makes do. I found other interests. In the meantime, I gave myself more latitude to indulge. I had always restrained myself from some of the darker impulses of my curse before, but with Donathier gone, and with me unable to exact vengeance, I allowed myself some of the more pleasurable aspects of my curse. Too cheesy?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
He's staring at you. He seems to have ceased his tirade. So,
what
what
was
is it?
Donathier trying to accomplish with the creation of this world?
He smiles. He goes over to one of his bookshelves, pulls a manuscript off, flips through it, and shows you what appears to be a sketch of the map that you carry. Survival, he said. Survival for races that could not exist elsewhere. A way to build permanent peace and unity for these creatures, some that may have struggled to survive elsewhere. Donathier wanted to see peace. He wanted to see life grow and thrive. My role was to help regulate the magics that sustain this land. He, being a planeswalker, he had the power. He had a great deal of knowledge, but I was more of a tinkerer. I knew why the magics worked the way that they did, and I could focus and channel his power into the land to help it run the way that it could. He gestures at another bookshelf. On the bookshelf, you see 5 books, one each glowing a different color of magic. Those books there contain the fruit of my labors. They are my most exhaustive research into the essence of magic. They are the most potent and most well researched. The words failing. These are the culmination of my life's work. I finished them shortly after he died. I have no one to share them with now. Lifetimes of work. He looks around. I took a curse on myself. I gave myself immortal life. And now I have nothing to spend it for. I've solved all the riddles. Now I have nothing left. Nothing but the thirst that drives me forward. Speaking of which, he gestures at you. Roll a d10.
Yeah, I figured this was. That's part of the reason I was laughing at the speech earlier, because I figured it was leading up to the nom nom nom. I rolled a 3.
Ooh, okay. You find yourself completely immobilized for a little while. He can see a look of shock go over your face as you become rigid. Don't worry. I think you may be of some value to me yet. Maybe you can kill Sire. Maybe you can bring me vengeance. But in the meantime, I'm afraid I need a bit of a snack. He shifts his gaze from you to Alana.
Yep.
He gestures toward her. She starts walking toward him. You are powerless to do anything. You can speak if you want to speak, but you cannot move your limbs.
Do you kill these people that you have trapped here?
He laughs. Not all the time. Did she not tell you of the great debt these people owe me? I admit, and he steadies his hands for a minute. I used to be more careful. I used to make sure that I was only taking enough that I needed to survive. Truthfully, when Donathir was alive, I don't know that I'd really needed to drink much at all. But it's seductive. And so I've lost a few villagers, but the rest would be dead without me. So, and he makes a shrugging motion. Roll a d10.
5.
Your muscles start to feel like they're warming up a bit. She's about halfway across the room to
Am I allowed to draw mana while I'm immobilized?
Yes, you can draw
All right.
mana. You cannot gesture, but you can. So spell casting anything like trying to focus the mana toward a particular spell might prove difficult, but you can start to
Understood.
draw mana. Okay. So, sir, yes.
All right. Might as well. Oh gosh, let me look at. I forget how some of this mana works.
If you have any questions, just let me know and I'll walk you through it. And you are all the way healed up from before, just just so we're clear.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and draw. Gosh, how much do these things cost? Sorry.
Burn costs
Costs one red, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to draw it from tier to get
Okay.
the +2 toughness bonus.
All right, great. So your toughness now, I have it at 5. Is that correct?
5. I have a 2 + 2 written down here.
2. Oh, plus 2. That's right. I meant to have it. I had it written down at plus, and I forgot to do that. So yeah. So you're actually at 6.
Yes, and it's 6. Okay.
All right. He starts to get an amused smile on his face. You know I'm attuned to magic. I can feel you're trying to do something. But again, one magic user to another. I don't think you're going anywhere. Brave soldier man. Just stand there. She doesn't really mind me doing this. Maybe I'll even let her live since she brought me to you. Then again, there's always more to go around. He flicks a finger at you. Roll a d10.
8.
It seems he may have been trying to reinforce the spell, but something seems off, and you're now able to move a little more than usual.
I'm going to stay still.
Okay.
And the next mana draw I'm going to do is mountain.
All right. Okay, so you got a mountain and you've got tier. All right. You're purposely staying still. She's now about 3/4 of the way toward the room. She looks like she's trying to resist. Her steps are becoming more and more halting. The guards behind you are doing that. That was awesome. The guards behind you are making some sort of almost slow hissing sound the closer she gets to him. All right. So you've drawn 2 mana. You're choosing to stay still. She's about 3/4 of the way there. Roll a d12 for me. His concentration is now completely fixed on her.
4.
4. Okay. You can still feel it slowly starting to weaken, although not the spell's holding you, although not as quickly as you would have hoped just a minute ago. You're still not quite able to really move your limbs completely freely. She walks forward haltingly, and she finds herself right in front of him. He takes a minute, looks her over, and then takes her by one hand on either shoulder. He's now 100% completely invested in her. Roll a d12.
And fell off the thing. 3.
3. With your 3, your power is currently 3. All right, you are now able to move freely. He is 100. He is completely focused on her. He has lost all control over the spell. He is moments away from whatever he's going to do next.
Okay. Should we get into this now, or should you go check on the other guys?
So, I can't tell you about what's going on with them, but it's nighttime. I don't know that there's really anything to check in with them about. So I think it'll be. I know this is a long time with you, but I believe it or not, I think this will be cleaner if we can go a little further. Okay.
All right. Draw my
Okay.
sword and shield, cast burn.
Draw your sword and shield. You cast burn. All
Yes.
right. All right. You are. She is to your side. She is to your right side. So you have a clear line of sight. You draw a sword and shield. You cast burn at Gander. All right.
Correct.
So and burn does how much damage?
I think it says 2.
I think 2. Let me see this. Okay. So you cast burn at him. He is so involved with what's with Alana. He doesn't notice at first, but the flame hits him and starts to spread over his cloak. He releases her, yells, throws off the cloak. Alana is broken free of the spell. She starts to run away, but a shade comes out of the ground and grabs her and holds her immobilized. She's about 5 feet away from Gander. He looks at you. Heroics. Really? Is she really worth dying over? He starts to pull mana. And before you can react, he casts a lightning bolt in your direction. Roll a d10 for me, please.
All right. 2.
2. All right. You take 1 point of damage. So your toughness is now at 5. You reel back a bit, but you're able to stay on your feet. And Gander looks surprised. Does the soldier have something I'm not? Is there more to you than meets the eye? That should have struck you down. Fascinating. He's assessing the situation. What do you want to do?
Run at him and attack him with my obsidian dragon forged sword. That's what I want to do.
All right. That's what I like to hear. Okay. All right. The guards are starting to close in on you from behind, but they don't seem to move without some sort of command from him. So go ahead and roll a d20 for me, please.
All right. 16.
16?
Yes.
He sees you charging. He laughs and he says, "Really?" And he takes a step toward you as you're running toward him, as you rear your blade back. He says, "You're actually going to attack me?" Moments before your blade connects with his body, he starts to turn into mist. However, as your blade starts to pass through him, it starts to get that glowy action that it has going on, and he screams in pain and steps backward. You, what? What? I don't. And he's completely in shock and enraged.
I didn't leave Iconier empty-handed.
So I see. Roll a d20 for me.
17.
17. He grabs you and tries to. He's manic now. He grabs you. His fangs are fully extended. He rears back, but you manage to actually slip out of his grasp, trying to feint him with another strike, and he has to turn to miss to avoid taking the brunt of the damage, and he releases you. You are now face to face with this man. The guards are almost behind you. These guards, their rolls suck. But sorry, that's me breaking the fourth wall. Okay, you got the shade over there with
Mhm.
Alana. You've got the two the guards that are almost on top of you. You've got Gander in front of you. He's just let you go. What do you want to do?
Stab him.
Stab him. Roll a d20.
Roll a d20. 16.
You stab him directly in the heart. He looks at you. What was it all worth? He wonders out loud. He starts to dissolve. He fixes you with his eyes. Roll a d10.
8.
He says to you in a low, freezing cold voice, "Find Sire, kill her. If you do nothing else, avenge Donathir." But the words just wash right over you. You don't feel compelled at all. All right. You are right on top of him. The last of him seems to fade away. I need you to roll a d10.
Okay. Did he drop a grenade when he died? Is that what's happening right now? And it fell off the table. 4.
4. What is your hit point level? Not your toughness. Your hit point level. 3.
Ask the question again.
Your hit
My
points.
hit points 3.
Yeah, 3. All right. So grenade, kinda, sorta, yeah. As the last of him seems to dissipate, you realize that where he was standing, there's a black orb that seems to draw in the light. Before you can back away, without warning, it expands and sucks you in. You fall unconscious. The last thing that registers to your mind before you're completely enveloped is the guards falling prone, the shade disappearing, and Alana running from the room. And that is where you and I should stop.
Okay.
Okay. There was like a 2% chance of that happening. So, okay. All right. So,
I always find the stupidest, most improbable thing, don't I?
yeah. All right. So, there we go. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and hit your deafen.
All right. Where's the dang old button? Here it is.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I know, and I'm aware of. Mike and I talked about it once or twice, and with what was going on, it was the best thing to do. I would not have done that any other way. I would not have done it that way, but it kind of worked for what was happening. So, Dirk's here. Shoot
Yay.
here. Let's get rolling. So, just as a brief recap, you guys had the worm, you ran into the woods, you heard buzzing and other things, and then you broke through, you found yourself in Aosk's, and Aosk, it was going on nighttime. Nice old lady invited you back to her house like old ladies do, and you settle in for the night. So, you
I
wake
also
up.
get to punch a tiger.
Oh, you did get. I forgot about the punch. I mean, I can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, you also have used one of your pure flame arrows. So, and no, you didn't get that one back. So, too
No, I've
bad.
already marked that I'm down 1.
Okay, so you guys wake up in the morning. Your toughness is refreshed. You had a nice meal of gruel before you went to bed, and you are in the home of this nice old lady in Aosk.
Okay.
She asked you how you slept.
Just fine. Thank you very much.
So
Now,
good.
could you possibly point us or take us to where you think you saw our friend, or where he might be?
Right. So as you recall, she thought she might have seen him. She said, certainly. It's late enough in the morning now. The marketplace is probably going. The market shuts down at night because of our leader Gander. Most of the townspeople are, while we appreciate what he has done for us, most of the people, prefer to be at home indoors at night. But the marketplace should be going. We can go there and we can ask people if they've seen your friend.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to grab your gear and head out?
Yep.
All right. As you leave the house and start to head toward the marketplace that surrounds the central building, you notice that people seem, well, remember, you didn't see too many people last night. You got there uh, either at twilight or with approaching darkness. Everyone was around. People seem really anxious and abuzz this morning. Everyone is kind of looking in different directions, and most of the stalls in the marketplace look like people started to set them up and then just stopped. There's groups of people chatting, buzzing, talking to each other. Last night you couldn't really tell how big the settlement was. Now in full daylight you can tell it's about 30 odd buildings or so, all of them fairly small except for that one central building. But it looks like the entire town has turned out and they're kind of all buzzing and talking to each other, really anxious like. So the old lady that helped you looks just as mystified about this as you are, and she goes off to talk to one of her friends, and then I sneeze. And I said it, so it wasn't going to happen. So she goes to talk to one of her friends. That's how it works, you know. So, what do you want to do?
Once she's had a chance to talk to her friend, ask her, "Do you know what's going on?"
She looks at both of you. She says, "People are saying the craziest things. They're saying that Gander may have attacked again last night, but no one has seen the girl that was brought there. No one's seen the girl. I'm sorry I didn't tell you everything, but Gander sometimes extracts a price from those of us that live here. And sometimes he'll make a request of someone to come. In the old days, most people would come back, but now not everyone that's summoned comes back. No one's seen the girl. But we don't see Gander's soldiers. He usually keeps soldiers and guards around town. A while ago, one of the more rebellious residents actually tried to kill Gander. It didn't go very well for him. And since then, Gander had to make an example of him and had more of his guards around town. But no one's seen any guards today. She gestures toward the building. There's usually at least 2 or 3 out, and no one's seen any this morning, but no one wants to go inside. This information seems to both almost excite her and terrify her at the same time.
Huh. Well. Okay. Like, that's all good to know, but we still need to find our friend. And I'm guessing, speaking out of character, since you guys went for like 30 minutes without going, hey, come back, I'm guessing we're not going to bump into Mike anytime soon. So.
And it's literally impossible for me to tell you the answer to that. I mean,
Well, I wasn't asking you. I was just
I know.
rattling off my suspicions.
So you're still looking for your friend. She says, I understand. I will try to help you find him. You just have to understand something about this just doesn't feel right. You have to know we've lived in both fear and respect of Gander for so long. But to not have the guards around, we're not sure for this young woman to have disappeared. Could she have done the impossible? Could she have taken care of Gander? And what does that mean for us? Also, from what they describe, I'm not sure. Maybe this might be someone that your friend might have been with. At least 1 or 2 people I've spoken to said that she was showing a stranger around town. Your friend, and she looks at you more critically now, would your friend have done something to that young lady? Is he the type that he might have? And she doesn't finish her sentence.
I mean,
No.
not unless he was trying to open a door to be nice and hit her in the head accidentally. He's kind of a klutz, but he's not malicious in any way. He doesn't even want to fight back against wild animals that try to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
She accepts what you say, but she seems to be eyeing you a little more warily for a minute. Then she seems to consider it, realizes that you were in her house all night. She's like, all right, I certainly hope you find your friend, but you have to understand things just aren't usual. Roll, Dirk,
Mm-hmm.
roll a d10 for me, please.
I will choke and die while Dirk does that.
10. 7.
7. Okay. You think you hear something, but you're not sure what it is or what direction it's coming from. And super specific. At first, you thought it might have been someone calling, but as you look around, you realize you're not even sure if you heard it right or even what it was.
Okay.
The old lady looks at you and says, well, if you want, the young lady, she was living in a house just past the main building.
Well, we should probably start there.
Okay.
Yep.
She starts to walk in that direction with you. That causes you to cross over the courtyard. As you get closer to the main building, you notice that it has 2 sets of doors. Well, no, I'm sorry, 1 set of double doors. And she immediately stops as they come into view. And she says something under her breath that at first you can't understand. And then she looks at you and she grabs the angel's wrist. They're open. The door is open. That door is never open. Then she seems to collect herself. I'm sorry. I know you're looking for your friend. But in all the years I've lived here, we've never seen that door open during the day and only momentarily at night. So.
Well, that's something. We'll come back to this place, though, right?
Dirk.
This is a door. Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna say, Dirk?
What's this a door to?
This is so there's the central building in town. This building is higher, and all the other buildings are fairly uniform. They're about 1 floor, kind of like small huts. This one is at least 2 stories tall. It's made of stone all the way around, has a angular roof, and these are double doors that are leading into that central building.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is Gander's place.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's Gander's place, and she's freaking out. Dirk, roll a d10 for me, please.
9.
Okay.
Blam.
Yeah. And you have been to Innistrad and Theros. When you look at the door that she's pointing at, some of the runes on the door seem familiar to you. And you take a step forward just to try to identify them, and you realize that on both doors there are a series of runes. Some of them you recognize from Innistrad and some from Theros, along with a multitude of others that you don't even begin to realize, you don't even begin to recognize at all. But they seem to be alternating on Innistrad some of the variations on the Avacyn collar, and on Theros it almost looks like symbols for Erebos.
These so their symbol, talking to the angel, these symbols that are on the door, I've seen these symbols before. These are symbols from 2 planes I've been to. One has to do with Avacyn, and the other one has to do with Theros. And these are ones of one of the gods that's there.
That's given the multiplanar nature of the things that visit here and sometimes get stuck. That's not entirely unsurprising, but it is odd that they're together. I'm gonna use a spiritual awareness and see if I can feel anything.
All right, so you want to use spiritual awareness, and you want to point it basically toward the building, right?
Yeah, toward the door. Yeah.
All right. All right. For this, your spiritual awareness is a bonus of 2.
Yes.
For this, I want you to roll a d10.
10.
Yes.
There it is. Nope. There it is. Huh. 7.
7 plus 2. You sense something inside. You sense black mana, and a whole lot of it. And you feel like you sense Kareem, some glimmer of him. Almost like he's in an ocean. A drop in an ocean.
All right, I then relay that to Dirt. Because having you say something and then having my character repeat it is really stupid. So
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you want to put some kind of twist on it, I got you. But I'm sure you're just as eloquent as me.
I
So?
doubt that.
Do you want to go in? See if we can find anything that would lead us to where Kareem is?
It's that might be the right idea. Yeah, I'm gonna draw my sword, and I guess we should go in.
All right. So you head toward the building. The old lady watches you go. She takes a step to go with you, and then she just seems to decide better of it. She goes back toward the marketplace. As soon as you start to get close to the threshold, pretty much the conversation in town dies down, and you feel about 20 people watching you silently as you approach the building. As you get closer, you do see that one of the doors appears to be ajar, and you can almost see what looks like fresh footprints, some going in, and then what looks to maybe be a more recent pair leading out and heading away from town. As you open the door and you go inside, you keep the door ajar because it's dark inside. It appears to be one large room with no windows. As your eyes adjust, you can start to see perhaps a staircase up against one wall, and it feels like the room is cluttered. You see books, you see tables with what appear to be beakers and other instruments on them, sheets of paper, and at the far wall, there's a chair on its side, and a little distance away from that is what can best be described as some kind of black hole. It's darkness. This is going to sound cheesy, but it's darkness against the dark. It's pulling in every last vestige, and it almost makes the darkness around it look brighter. It appears to be about 6 feet tall, about a little less than 2 feet across, and it seems perfectly silent. Chewie, the angel, you can tell that seems to be the source of black mana that you felt earlier. You've lost the sense of Kareem.
So wait, when I came inside, I lost that.
It's the sense of black mana seems to be overriding everything else.
Ah, okay.
You're on the road and you pull up next to that car with the whole bass going and you can't hear anything else. That's the black mana here.
Ah, gotcha.
As you look around, you do see like tables, other things kind of strewn around on either side of the door. Well, not I'm sorry. Closer to where the black mana is and the chair, there appears to be two suits of armor just fallen to the ground. Empty suits of armor. And you do notice along one wall, there's a bookshelf, and there are five. While most of the books around the room appear to be ancient, there are 5 books that are gleaming against the darkness. One each illuminating a different color. If you have to guess which 5 colors, I will come over there. But so you take all this in. What do you want to do?
So is the darkness thing, is I get the impression that it's person high. Like it's person dimensions. Right?
A little bigger than a. It's a little bigger than a big person. Yes.
Okay.
Yoel, have you
Mhm.
ever seen anything like that?
I have not, although there's with the rune of Erebos. Erebos was he's a pretty dark dude, so I don't know if this matches up with it, but me personally, no.
Hmm.
Do we want to skirt this thing?
I'm going to pick up a chair and throw it at the black hole. See what
All right.
happens.
You want to pick up a chair and throw it at the black hole? Okay.
I mean,
you're
I would pick up a book, but that seems disrespectful. So,
well, there you go. All right. The only chair in the room is the one that has toppled down. You go to get it, and as you do, the closer you get to it, the stranger the black hole thing seems to be. But you're able to get the chair, and you're gonna throw it from a little ways away. You're not gonna go right up to it and like do the thing at wrestling where you're like, hey, chair over the head. You want to like toss it from a little bit of a distance.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Roll a d10 for me, please.
Yep. I got a 4.
You toss it. Your aim seems to be a little off. It's a dark room. It does manage to make contact with the corner of it and bounce off. It doesn't appear to do any damage to the black hole, but as you go to look at the chair, you also realize that even though it definitely impacted, there doesn't appear to be any damage to the chair either. So only a scuff mark from where it hit the floor again. So whatever this is, it didn't cause any damage to it either.
Well, that's unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of figured this was some sort of portal or some such.
It did not pass through to anywhere, no.
Okay, I'm gonna grab one of the random books off the floor and sort of huck it into two just as a double check, because I don't trust this at all.
Do you grab any particular book or just whichever one happens to be around?
Yeah, you said there were books strewn around, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
Not one of the glowing ones. I'm just gonna pick up a book.
There we go. There we go. Okay, so you grab the Idiot's Guide to Throwing Books at Things and you chuck it. All right. Roll a d10.
Dude, that's so appropriate. It is a 7.
You begin to wonder why Gander even had that book. You toss it straight on. You have a more visible. Your eyes are becoming adjusted to the darkness. and it lands against it, and then it kind of sticks there for a second. And then you feel this low thrumming sound starting to emanate from within the black hole type thing.
Huh. Okay, that is slightly more of what I was expecting, but not quite.
All right. Pause for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't want you. I tell you what. I'm gonna have you step away, but literally, I'm kidding you not. Like 5 minutes or less this time. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Because I need
Okay.
to. Okay.
Oh, headset off, right. Oop. Suppose we should have gotten Mike back first before we stepped away. Oh, there he is.
Oh, that didn't take very long.
Well, they're doing.
By the way,
stuff.
my headset's off.
Yeah, thank you. Well, wait, you can't hear that. So Mike,
Yes. Did I lose?
no, you didn't lose. I just want you to know that I respect your character and I respect the way that you set him up. So I did not set out to be like, hey, you guys are new classes, or hey, you guys, are whatever now. But yeah, I just want to touch base. I told them this would literally take like less than 5 minutes, because they're doing some stuff, and spoiler alert, I think you're about to kind of meet back up again.
Good.
But when you do, you're affected by the curse that Gander had taken upon himself. So I just want to make sure that you understand that your character
Uh-huh.
can grapple with it, but and you can react however you feel is most appropriate to that. But I want to make sure you're okay with that. If not, then we can talk it out and try and find some other solution. But this is literally like I was like, okay, if this happens in this, if this happens in this, and boom, like I'm telling you, 2%. So, um,
Well, I mean, it's not a matter of whether I feel okay with it. I just gotta find the best way to deal with it.
yeah, but I mean, this is us, and I'm doing this so for
Hmm.
you guys to hopefully enjoy it as well. So I'm gonna. They are pretty much where you're at, and you're about to wake up and find yourself with this. And I just wanted to kind of ease you into that. Now, again, your character can deal with it however you think is appropriate.
Hmm.
But I thought it'd be better if I kind of made you a little bit of aware of what was happening. Um, but you get all this? You following me?
I do. I understand.
Okay. So here's what's going to happen is when I tell you to, why don't you go ahead and get off and wait like 60 seconds and then just come right back on without being prompted, and we'll kind of pitch that to them as you just came out of this cocoon of black mana that was affecting your body, because they've kind of come across it, and that's where we're at. Okay.
Okay.
I think that's the most natural way to. They weren't even sure where you are. I think this is the most natural way for you to kind of like discover each other. But I wanted you to know what was going on. You all right with that?
Yes, I am. I understand.
All
So
right.
I'll go away for about a minute and then come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Literally like 60 seconds. If you can, I'll draw it out a little bit if I have to, but you're gonna kind of just pop back in. All right.
Okay. Got it.
All right.
Okay, I are back.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The book sticks to the thing. It's not a particularly magical book or anything, but
I should really hope that the Idiot's Guide to Throwing Books at Stuff isn't super magical.
well, you never know. Maybe it's a Horcrux or a what is a phylactery or something. But there's a low thrumming sound coming from the black hole type thing, this diffusion of black mana. The book vibrates for a second, then falls to the floor. The black mana seems to expand momentarily outward just a bit, maybe half a foot more, and then it shudders and starts to slowly compress itself backward, in and in, until it looks to be about the shape of a person, and Kareem is standing in front of you.
Whoa. Hey, buddy.
I'm glad to see you guys.
So I'm glad you found your way here. You okay?
I really don't know.
Hey, Dirk, roll a d20.
Could be worse.
Yeah, you could have had the breakfast we had this morning. Oh my god.
Dirk,
So,
I don't know
Are you
whether
okay?
Dirk heard you, Brian.
I don't think Dirk heard you.
Dirk, roll a d20.
oh,
We're all just waiting on Dirk, and Dirk's like, "Dirt, dirt, dirt, dirt."
It's like, I think Brian's trying to answer your question.
all right. So an 11.
All right.
A dragon breaks through and eats you. Wait, what?
Look at your. I just sent you a message, Dirk. You just perceived something.
Oh god, Dirk can't find things on Discord.
Do you see that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is everything okay?
No, I really don't feel well right now. I think something happened after I killed Gander.
After you what?
I had to. He has all these people imprisoned here, enslaved. It's horrible.
You couldn't wait for us?
No, I couldn't wait.
Man, I
He
never
was
get
about
to
to-
kill any big bad guys.
He was about to feed on someone.
Oh.
So, let me ask you a question. What happened to you yesterday?
I
After
lost
the
my
war?
way in the woods again. I found my way here to this village. Met a nice, friendly person, had some dinner, and then came to talk to Gander. He told me more about what's going on this plane, and then I had to kill him. I mean, Iconir told us that we had to be prepared to do what we needed to do, so I did it.
But you never want to fight the animals that want to rip
Angel?
our faces off. Yeah.
We might want to step back.
Step back. Okay.
Where is Kareem?
Kareem is in front of you. You're within about 10 feet of him. You are. The door is behind the two of you.
There is something wrong with him.
I mean, we've known that for a long time, but what?
Look at his eyes. His
What
eyes
did-
are completely black, Angel.
Did Gander put a curse on me?
There's something wrong here.
What is it? Do you know?
As I'm backing
Look at-
away, I'm gonna
I'm
pull up the
So-
spiritual awareness again and see if I can feel Kareem.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
I noticed something, and I'm gonna pull my silver arrows out and aim it at Kareem.
Oh, wait a minute. I pull up my shield. Stop. What are you
Wait.
doing?
Hang on a second. Let me see if I can figure something out here.
Okay, so Kareem pulls out his shield in response to Alaric not knocking a silver arrow. As the angel is like, hold on, let me use spiritual awareness. Roll. There's a lot going on here. Roll a d20.
D20. 1d20. Coming up. I got a 13. Of course it's a 13.
Wow. Feel like you should take a damage from triskaidekaphobia. Okay. Well, so you reach out, and what you see in front of you, what you perceive, is Kareem. It almost looks like he has a shadow now overlaid on top of him, but it is still definitely Kareem.
Okay. So this is Kareem. I'm pretty sure this isn't something posing as him, so that's a good sign. Don't shoot him just yet. I'm not saying not shoot him. I'm just saying don't shoot him just yet.
I wish you would tell me what's going on.
Yeah, what do your elf eyes see? I know you're not an elf. Go with the reference.
I can tell he's a vampire. I can see his fangs. I can see the darkness in his eyes.
That monster Gander did put a curse on me. Oh my. Oh.
Okay, that's bad, but not just because he might be a vampire. It doesn't mean that he's not still our friend. I know that it's sort of a thing for you, given where you're from, but
the things I've seen from my plane would terrify you to no end, and vampires are nothing to be made fun of.
Don't assume that as a being of white mana that I couldn't handle it. Hang on a minute. I've got blessed healing. Let me see if that'll do anything.
Okay. All right.
It's like let me try something. Hey, Kareem, close your weird black eyes for a minute.
Okay.
All right. So you cast Blessed Healing.
Yeah.
On it? Okay.
Yeah, just to see if anything happens.
Okay. His physical form remains unchanged. The aura around him does not seem to be dissipated at all. You notice he doesn't seem to. He sometimes, the undead don't like to be healed because you're literally curing them. This curse seems to be a little different. Kareem doesn't appear to actually be necrotic. He doesn't appear to be wasted away. He seems perfectly healthy, but you are unable to dissipate the darkness that seems to have latched itself onto him.
Well, that's a good sign. That didn't hurt you. It didn't appear to help you, but it didn't hurt you.
That's good to know, I guess.
So I think that means you're not an undead vampire. You might be just cursed. Like
Mike,
you said?
Mike, roll a d12 for me, please.
Rolling a d12. Where'd it go? There it is. 8.
Okay. You can feel your mind start to clear a bit. Obviously, you're in some shock from what happened, but you're able to. Your powers of reasoning and processing are making their way back to you. So.
Okay, good.
For whatever good that does you. So.
In other words, things Drew and Dirk can't know.
What? No. You guys resolve your issues however you want. Side note: this is the most fascinating interaction I think I've ever seen between the three of you. How Captain America's Civil War of you. But I appreciate that Dirk is playing it like his character would. I'm not telling you, hey, rap. I'm just saying you are regaining. You've been through a lot. You are starting to regain some sense of your surroundings and cognitive ability. That's all.
So, Gander told me when he was rambling on that there's all kinds of different types of the vampiric curse from all over the multiverse. I wonder if this is one of the kinds that can be reversed.
Well, let's
He has
hope
all
so.
these books here with all the magic he's learned about. I point to the glowing books.
So did he use these books?
No, he just gloated about them. Said he learned all there was to know.
Were these books glowing when you came here?
Yes.
So wait,
Sorry.
he learned all there is to know, and yet you were able to finish him off. I love it when they monologue about nonsense. Okay, let's see. So, if it's curse, it's obviously some sort of black mana curse because, you know, vampirism, etc. So we should check out, I'm guessing, the white book and see if that'll tell us something.
Probably just tell you how to kill me.
Not all white men is that black and white. Okay, wrong. You know what I mean.
All manas are what? Okay, so
All white men as are bastards. So why don't we? I don't know if we should take you out of here for fear that you'll scare the general populace, or if we should just stay here and try to figure this out.
Well, there's one more question I want to ask before I put my arrows down. We were told by the person who helped us last night that you were seen with a girl. Where is the girl now? What happened to her?
She ran off right before the curse got me. She escaped, I think. I don't know if she's still in the village. I assume she is because she said people felt like it was too dangerous to go out into the woods.
So wait, was she here? Oh, was that who Gander was going to feed
Yes,
on?
he was trying to feed on her.
And you saved her.
As far as I know.
Well, okay.
Hope I did.
So you stopped Gander, and then something awful happened, but not to her.
Right, I saw her run away.
Okay, good.
So, when you said Gander was going to feed on her, how was he going to feed on her?
I don't know. I know what a vampire is. He had her by the shoulders. I assume he was going to go for the neck.
So he was going to bite her,
Yes.
not like look her in the eye and suck her brain out.
I wasn't about to stand by and watch him do it just to satisfy curiosity. That's incredibly morbid. I hope you realize.
No. I'm just trying to get we're trying to get a feel for what manner of vampire Gander was, because there are several different flavors, as I'm sure you know.
I had to do something. I didn't have time to think about it.
Okay, fair enough. But it looked like he was gonna bite her.
Yes.
Okay. I assume that's what you were going for, Al.
Mm-hmm.
Mind if I
Well,
call you
it
Al?
seems to me that if Gander was a vampire and Kareem has now acquired a curse of vampirism, then since Kareem he stopped Gander and everything, it makes me wonder if Gander has
What, you think I'm possessed or something?
has possessed Kareem. And that Kareem has acquired these vampiric characteristics because of that. We may be able to find something in these books. We don't know. I will look at the black book and see if I can find something about curses in it.
Okay, and I will check the white book to see if I can figure out a way to not kill him.
all right. Wow. So this was the least amount of talking I've ever had to do because you guys were 100% doing it all yourself. This is great. I should curse one of you more often. So
There's
Not
no
to-
swearing on Thursday Night Manipool.
not to mention, it's fascinating that you guys kind of like got separated, and now some of you know some things, some of you know others, and it's just amazing to see you come together and compare notes while holding each other at gunpoint. So it's great. So it's
Hey, Kareem, quick question.
Yes.
Are you feeling hungry?
I don't know.
Okay, that's a good sign.
Maybe you should roll for it.
I
Kareem, roll a d10.
Do I
One.
look yummy?
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1, you're fine. You're still a little disoriented, you're fine. You do not have to kill your companions yet. I mean, all right.
Except
So,
with sarcasm.
Dirk,
Yes.
you are going to the black book.
Hmm.
The angel, you are going to the white book. Is that correct?
yes.
All right. Dirk, you don't need to roll anything. The angel, I want you to roll a d20.
1d20. That hurt. Okay, let's see here. Hang on, let me look at my sheet real quick. Okay, just checking. All right, d20.
Yes.
10.
10. Am I correct that you control 4 planes?
4 plains, Embla, Tier, Grove of the Burn Willows, and 2 jungle. Weirdly enough.
All right. You both reach the bookcase fairly simultaneously. The angel's able to remove her book with no problems. It may have taken a bit of effort to pull it off the shelf. Alaric, you grab the black book and it doesn't budge. Do you want to keep trying to pull it off?
Yes.
Okay.
You having some trouble there, Al?
It's not budging.
As you continue to pull, a voice seems to pierce through your mind. It doesn't really speak in words so much as feelings, but you have this sense of almost unworthiness, almost a sense of self-degradation that you haven't felt in ages, and instinctively it just makes you have this sense of ickiness that you makes you instinctively want to stop grabbing the book.
Well, I'm gonna draw away from the book.
Okay. Angel, you take the book to a table, you start to open it, and as you open it, you start to hear almost a voice in your head as well. It is only perceptible to you, but at the same time, while it's only speaking directly into your head, the others are able to perceive some sort of glow beginning around you and increasing in intensity. You get a sense from this book that it speaks directly into your mind. It essentially tells you that this is Gander's work relating to white magic, everything he ever learned about white mana and the way that it operates. And you have a spiritual awareness of 2. I know you're not asking to use it, but that is your natural just
Yes.
modifier. This has you feel almost like the book itself is alive. It almost reminds you of an elemental being, made out of pure white mana.
Like me, but not.
Like you, but not. You, but not given tangible form. The book is tangible, but whatever's in the book seems more like a container than anything else.
I see.
It seems to almost want to know what you want to know.
So should I talk to this book or just sort of think at this book?
You don't have to say words out loud. You have to tell me because I can't read your mind. because this is real
He
life.
can't do what the book wants you to do.
Damn it. Be a better GM, Brian. Charles, he got in my head. Okay.
No.
So since I'm assuming that the other two are sort of looking at me because I'm
It's
suddenly surrounded
Because
by.
you're glowing.
Yeah, the glow
Fascinating
from the book.
stuff, yeah. I mean, don't see that every day.
So I'm like, hey guys,
Yeah.
I think this book isn't just a book. I think that something is in this book. Something I don't want to use the word pure, but I can't think of a better word. It seems to be,
Aware?
yeah, like me. It seems to be made out of just white mana, but not like me. But I think that it. I can't tell if it wants to help because of who I am, or if it wants to help because of that's its job. I don't know. Is it like is it a living table of contents? I'm not sure, but I'm gonna see if I can get it to help.
Okay.
So do me a favor. If anything goes wrong, try to get the book away from me, would you?
All right. I'll step over to that side.
I was saying I'm a point at Cream and be like, not you though. I don't think it'll like you, because I get the feeling all of these books have something in it. Is that why you couldn't get it off the shelf, the black one?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right, so I'm gonna ask the book, not necessarily out loud, but maybe, if it knows. I'm not sure how aware the book is, so I'll ask the book if it knows what happens to my friend, and I'm a point at Kareem.
So between a combination of physical gestures and more conveying the idea with your mind, the book, the pages on the book seem to turn back and forth for a little bit. The writing and runes in the book start changing on each page, so you're trying to follow along, but it's impossible to read. Seems to be almost trying to formulate an answer to your question. And finally, what it seems to drop into your mind is something to the effect of, this is not something that Gander ever wanted to find out, so I don't have an answer to it.
Well, that doesn't help. Is there anything in here about curing curses or helping getting rid of a vampiric curse or something like that? Like a fresh vampiric curse.
The pages flip back and forth again.
Let's put a little club soda on there.
Get your mom to spit on a rag.
Pages flip back and forth for a bit, finally settle on, this is not information that Gander ever sought, so it's not within the pages of here. This book, and the culmination of it, is to teach the true essence of white magic to those that were worthy. It is the culmination of his research, and if you believe you are worthy, then you can take from this the power to manipulate white mana.
Huh.
I have the power.
Da 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 da. That was the He-Man music for anyone who's not old as hell.
Almost unbidden, the pages turn again. Now it asks you a question. We do not have the answer to your question. But if we were to help you, what would you use this power for?
Huh. For good or for awesome? Are we talking? I don't want to sound flippant, but I'm trying to understand. Is this like a long-term question, or do you mean right now? Because long-term, I have no idea. I would use it for the smiting of the evil, I guess, and helping people that need it. But for right now, I just want to help my friend so he's not cursed.
The book glows brighter. To protect the weak, to cure the ill, to vanquish the evil. Is this what you seek?
That sounds like what I seek all the time.
Roll a d20.
D20. All right. No dysentery. No dysentery. No dysentery. You could have made a Team Rocket joke, Mike. It's fine.
I could have.
All right. Ha! I rolled... Are you serious? I rolled literal dysentery.
You rolled literally a 1?
I rolled a 1. Damn it, Mike. It's because you didn't make a Team Rocket joke. Huh.
I need to make a roll now. Okay. Okay. You rolled a 1. You currently have 4 planes.
Yes. And 1 tier, that's white mana.
The light intensifies and then seems to blink out just for a second. Then it starts up again slowly and becomes more intense. You feel as if you're being scanned almost. Roll a d10.
D10. Nope, that's it. Where did the 10 go? There it is. All right. D10 says 4.
4. Okay. D10. So that's a 4, and you're 1. And you're an angel, so you're pretty much made out of white mana.
I am an angel.
The voice comes again.
I also have bluff of 2, if that matters.
Or am I an angel?
Don't try to bluff the book.
It's like, I am super awesome.
The voice speaks to you in your head again. Gander, for lack of a word, wrote me to encompass how to manipulate white mana. I cannot ascertain his motivations, but I would believe that he meant for this knowledge to be passed on. You aren't quite what we would expect, but we believe that your motivations are pure. We do not know that you can learn how to cure your friend, but you can learn to do a great many more things. Will you accept this power?
Well, if there's a shot that I might be able to figure out how to help Kareem, then it's worth it, so yes.
All right.
I, the angel of sound-minded body.
Roll a d10 for me.
D10. Where'd it go? Oh. I don't know how you keep telling me to roll a d10, and every time I put it back with the dice, it disappears. It's a 0. Oh, it's a 10!
It's a 10.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I was like, oh God, what have I done? No, we don't have zeros.
White light washes over you. Your mind becomes completely full and then blank. When you regain your senses, you look down. The book appears completely mundane. All of its pages are completely wiped clean. Do you have your character sheet in front of you?
I do.
I want under magical skills, you can write down manifest white. And this is going to have a cost of X and white. And what you're going to do when you want to use this is if there's an ability that you think that you want to do that is either for protection, for healing, or to manipulate the element of light, like the physical light within a space, you describe to me what you want to do, the effect that you want it to have, and I'll tell you how much mana it will take, and we'll see if it works. So it's kind of a bit of a catch-all. It's supposed to represent some mastery of white magic. Congratulations.
Okay, hang on. Explain that again so I can. If there's anything I want to do with white mana, RE, healing.
RE. Specifically, healing, protection, or light magic, like the element of light. You know, that stuff.
We need you to light a room.
Yeah.
Find out what it costs and if it'll work. Okay.
Yeah, the higher X, the more. I mean, it's like a fireball. The higher X is the greater the effect. So.
Yeah.
Okay. It cannot be used for any other purpose than those. So, no, like using it to be like kill that guy, because that's not how that works. So,
What if that guy?
Unless you want to blind him by the light.
And then you can rev up like a douche. What if that guy is evil or a vampire or an evil vampire or something? Like, I'm just trying to figure out if it's like holy magic in like Final Fantasy or if this is purely.
That's a decent question.
What if he has a really crummy sword and you want to give him a shiny new plowshare?
All right. So specifically, what we're talking about here is what you're talking about, like a banishing ray or something. Well, that destroys artifacts, but like something that kills undead. That is something that could be associated with white mana. Yes, but this is white mana through the lens that the angel has provided the book. So, and what you said you wanted to get out of it. So, it's limited to those couple things. If you could talk me,
I distinctly said smite the evil, but okay.
You did say smite the evil. You did. You know
what? If I can make a lightsaber? Nah.
So a being like a vampire that is undead, it's going to be a harder sell. A being like a shade that is literally comprised of darkness, you can probably get away with that. Yeah. So it's going to be a matter of degrees.
Okay, I gotcha.
Okay.
All right. So I explain to the guys what just happened.
Wow, that sounds pretty amazing.
That's awesome. I wonder.
I'm going to pick up the red book and see what happens.
You're not picking up anything.
I'm picking up this red book.
No, you are still cursed. Hang on a minute. I'm going to see if I can get this white mana to show me how to help you before you go touching anything.
Fine.
Okay. All right. So you're attempting to use manifest white
to
cure
to lift this or destroy or something this vampiric curse of whatever nature without killing Kareem.
Right. So you use your white mana. You essentially try to feel out the curse because you were aware of where it is. Because it is not physically harming him, because it seems to have bonded itself symbiotically, so to speak, to him. Your knowledge of white mana, as amplified as it is right now, does not come up with a solution for removing the curse from him.
Curses.
Exactly. So,
I do
Are
have a
we-
bluff of 2.
you want to bluff a curse. Are we stopping here? Or Mike, are you touching the book?
I want to touch the red book.
You want to touch the red book?
Yes.
All right. You control 3 mountains. All right. Roll a d10 for me, please.
Okay. 8.
8. All right. You easily remove the book, and then likewise you take it over. You brush off some papers off of a table, and you open it. It immediately you hear the sound of you feel a force of temperature, of rising heat kind of envelop you, and flames start dancing around you a bit, much like you saw the light around the angel earlier, but they don't seem to harm you. And a voice, almost like an erupting volcano, kind of like presses itself into your mind. This one seems more harsh, perhaps more articulate, and to a certain extent more definite words than the soothing voice of the light that spoke to the angel, and it addresses you as the one who wears the demon ring. What do you want to know?
I want to know the secrets of the power of red mana.
Bit of a rolling laughter, like the sound of lava. Much use your imagination. Rolls over you. What would you use this power for?
To burninate the countryside.
Yeah. To fight for my friends and to tear down the oppressors that keep people down.
It almost seems to scream into your mind before you're finishing your thought. And will you let your thoughts rule you? Will you allow your passion to guide you, or will you be stuck in mediocrity? Will you hesitate when the time comes?
I know my heart will guide me.
That's a very good answer for red. Roll a d20
All right.
and don't roll dysentery.
19.
19.
Show off.
The book erupts in literal flames, and there is nothing left. As you stand there, your pallor, which had your demeanor, which you had taken on a certain pallor, seems to brighten a bit. You actually start to regain a bit of color in your eyes. Out of curiosity, Kareem, what color were your eyes before this?
And a dark brown.
Dark brown. So now that you start to see a bit of an expanding pinpoint of brown mixed with red in the center of your eyes.
Awesome. Well, I can't see it, but they can.
Right.
Whoa.
So
Well, just cross your eyes so they look at each other. Duh.
Oh, yeah.
you have now gained Manifest Red. Costs an X and a red. And the 3 properties that it bestows you are red mana when used to either ignite or follow your passion or the passion of others, to hasten or embolden your movements, not necessarily stronger, but faster, and manipulation of fire and lightning.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to have to write that on 3 different rows because
Sure.
that text got really small in this autofill. All right, great.
You can tell you still seem to be affected by the curse, but it's almost like now you have a bit of a warmness to your skin. You don't feel as cold as you did a minute ago. So you have a dual nature about you now. All right. Any other?
I will reach for the green one.
You'll reach for the green one. Okay. So. All right. So Alaric controls 5 forests. I guess go ahead and roll a d10 for me, but unless you roll dysentery, that can be a thing for us now.
I think
That
so.
was the name
Yeah.
of the last episode.
So I rolled a 7.
Roll a 7. You pull that book down. You know who's boss.
Timidness.
Yeah.
I like to throw on the side that I pull it, but there's a timidness of it.
You grab it, and you don't even take it over to a table. You just sit cross-legged on the floor, and you open it up. Immediately, the sounds of the forest fill your mind. And above it all, a breeze that at times seems as gentle as, well, a summer breeze. It's good with words. But
Makes me feel fine.
but other times seems to pick up and sounds like a howling gale. You who would learn of green, who would learn of nature, who would learn of the wild, what do you seek? What answers do you seek?
I seek to bring order back to this world.
It seems to scoff a bit. The order of civilization, the order imposed by the mighty, or the order of
The natural order.
the natural order, the order. Thank you, Dirk. Mike, whoever you are,
Steve.
Kareem, Alaric. Yes, thank you, Steve. The order of the strong.
I seek to bring balance back to this world. I seek to purify of the corruptions that I've seen in this world.
The wind quiets down for a minute. Purity. Purity is a concept we can understand. The purity of nature. Gander wrote us, there is a secret to this world, one that seems almost incompatible and yet still thrives both with us and against us. Do you seek strength?
I seek to become stronger.
Roll a d20.
17.
Dirk just got +4/+4.
The wind picks up. You hear a hurricane in your ears. The book lifts off your lap for a second. Does kind of a twist in the air. Snaps shut and falls to your feet, completely mundane. Alaric has now gained Manifest Green.
Whoa.
Okay.
An X in green, and it will allow you to control or manipulate green magic for the three elements or the 3 purposes of either sustaining life, so you can just put life if you want, growth, and manipulation of wind.
Okay.
So I feel like I would have some like level up music here or something, but
Na 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 na.
Good job, everybody. And now I do think we probably need to stop. I mean, after all, it's a little late. The band's back together. I like how there was one point. I'm not going to say exactly when, but there was one point where Chewie was like, "I don't know that we're going to meet up with with Kareem again for a while." And I was like, "Possibly." There was a point where I thought, "Okay, you're just going to leave town and you're just going to completely miss him, and he's going to wake up later and be like, what just happened to me?" But band's back together. Kareem's sporting a new look, and everybody kind of got a level up. And yes, much to the amusement of the Angel, Kareem did take down Gander all on his lonesome self. It was pretty epic, actually. So, I gotta say, speaking outside the fourth wall or 10th wall or however many walls there are, this was fascinating to me. It really was. I know it was probably difficult because there were times and last episode and this one where you were just waiting around. You couldn't leave because you knew stuff was going to happen. So I know that was tough, but it was fascinating to see you guys how you approached things on your own, or in the case of Dirk and Chewie without Mike around. That was interesting, and then to see your reactions when you were together. And I was trying to tell Dirk, hey, these are things he picked up on because of his background and how he reacted to it instead of just, oh, hey, Mike might be a vampire. Let's go grab a pizza. You know, I thought that was really interesting and really true to self. So I this
When
was
you come from Innistrad, you can't be like, "Hey guys, yeah, there's something over there."
yeah. So
So you're saying if Dirk came to a certain high school in Oregon or Washington State or wherever the hell Twilight takes place and walked past a certain high schooler, he would then whip out an arrow and shoot him.
I mean, probably. So
I would think I had entered the Hunger Games.
I mean, I I was he was moments away from like I was gonna have him roll for something, so I'm not here to like stop you guys from killing each other. I think I'm not encouraging it. I'm really not. Like when he drew his bow, I was like, did I take this too far? No, let's see where this goes. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, you know, maybe that's where Kareem's story ends. He punches a merfolk in the face. He gets lost in the woods a couple times. He finds a nifty ring. He he manages to liberate a town, kind of, sort of. I guess we'll see if that, you know, how they feel about that. Becomes a vampire, deals with that,
Shot in the
wakes
heart
up
with
and
a
gets shot by his friend. I've read much worse stories than that. That's
GG guys, GG.
what did you guys think? What did you think of last episode and this episode?
I can't wait to find out what the hell we missed. But other than that, I do like that I had the idea that, hey, we should not be listening to this.
That was great. That was absolutely the right way to handle it. And I am not telling you guys you need to discuss this or whatever, but you have not told the whole story to each other yet. So
Yeah, I figured there'll be an exposition dump at the beginning of the next RPG episode.
in like a year.
I mean, we just did 2 in a row, so probably.
And apparently we got previews starting soon for
Yeah.
Triple Masters or whatever.
Yeah, they
Something.
start next week.
Yay.
Yay.
But no. Did you guys have fun with this, or did you find it was just annoying with the party split? Or
I mean, both.
I was feeling bad for Chewie and Dirk since our section was taking so long, but then you were like, you know, you were explaining you were trying to keep us around the same time, and it was the middle of the night in my story, and they weren't up to anything.
right.
Yeah, because why would we go after the big bad vampire when we still didn't know where the hell you were? So we elected to just chill.
So I want you guys to tell your story to each other, but I think you know enough about what happened that I thought it was interesting your reactions. You guys are like, yeah, it's nighttime. Let's go to sleep. Uh, my Mike is talking to somebody. Is like, yeah, I want to go meet him right now. And they're like, well, not until nighttime. He's like, great, we'll go at nighttime. And I'm like, sure. So I found,
Whereas the woman that we met was like, "Oh, well, it's scary out there," and we were like, "Well, we should probably not fool with that until we're at full strength." So,
to be fair, Mike had a very good reason for trying to take care of this. So
yes, he's impatient.
we'll get into all that next time. So, but yeah, I've enjoyed the whole process. I really have. There have been some episodes that I've enjoyed more than others, but I've said it before, but this was just so fascinating. And when you guys met up with each other, there was literally nothing for me to do except clue Dirk into some of these things. There, just sit back and watch you guys go at it, and it was amazing. So maybe I just won't show up for the next one. I'll just find out about it later. No, that probably won't work. That probably won't work.
And then they made me their chief.
We'll
No,
try
just
to
how else are we gonna get lost in the woods?
we'll try to go ask an NPC a question, and they'll just be standing there with a confused look on their face.
Drooling slightly. Hello.
Walk outside. Time stopped. Be like, oh no, Mike, what have you done now?
I am error.
Oh Lord. All right. So, final thoughts.
This was great. I feel like I've already said what I'm going to say, so I'm going to miss you guys next week. I'm
Lies.
going to try not. What's that?
What? Nothing.
I said I'm going to try not to die. So,
Yes, please don't die.
and I will try not to result in anyone else getting in trouble. So, but yeah. So you guys be good without me. I know it'll be tough. Just think.
We
what would
make
Brian
no
do?
guarantees.
Okay. I don't really have any other final thoughts. This episode was enough. Dirk?
All right, my final thoughts. The final thought for me is the past couple days have sort of been a little sad and a little, I don't know. But my final thought has to do with Grant Imahara dying, his passing.
That was a bummer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard.
I
about
have
that.
all the MythBusters seasons. My wife watches them to put herself to sleep, mostly because she just needs background music or background noise and everything. I tend to sit up and watch them when that happens. He was one of the funny parts of the show. I really, really enjoyed it. And to hear that he had passed at such an early age was a little heartbreaking in all of it. And what was additionally kind of sad to find out is that it was, from what I've read, was from a brain aneurysm,
Yup.
which is also kind of sad, kind of another like blow, because earlier this it was earlier this year, yeah. One of Chelsea's friends from college passed away from a brain aneurysm, and he was only 36.
Gosh.
So it's just one of those things where, it makes me want to go. I need to go get an MRI done. Make sure I'm not going to die anytime soon, sort of thing. But it's just kind of weird and creepy and unusual to me, to hear about that happening and hear about, twice in a year, sort of thing.
When I was in third grade, one of my best friends, if not the best friend I had, was diagnosed with a brain tumor. 3rd grade. I'm sorry, I said third. I said third. I meant 5th grade. Still way, 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 way too young. And then,
Yeah.
my cousin died when she was early 20s from brain cancer. So I'm my condolences. So
So it's just one of those. Again, it's just one of those things that you can wonder about it, you can think about it and everything, but it's again, it's a tragedy.
yeah.
And again, that's sort of my final thought is just thinking about him and all the the wonderful things that he has entertained our family doing and making and everything. So it's something, it's up there with Carrie Fisher and Leonard Nimoy for me.
Yeah. Grant was 49, I think.
Yeah.
Ugh. What a waste.
Well, that's me.
Screw you, 2020.
2020 has really just been a really crappy year.
There's no swearing on Thursday Night Manipool.
Well, that's when I was like,
He thought about it for a
crappy.
second.
There we go.
Yeah. One day, 2020 will be over.
Will it?
In about 20 years.
Yeah.
This will be like the Groundhog Day, but for a year. No.
Ugh.
Ugh. Hey, Mike. I didn't interrupt your intro, so I can interrupt your final thought. Haha, levity.
Ah, there you go. Gosh. I don't know. This also was a fascinating episode. I already mentioned how I felt kind of bad that Chewie and Dirk had to wait around for so long, but I guess that was just a circumstance of the timing of our stories.
It was. It was not at all your fault. If it was anyone's fault, it was mine. And I think it's just the way that it played out. So.
Yeah, I don't have much really to say right now.
Fair enough.
Is it because I was really mean? Where's the girl? What did you do? Why are you this way?
Where's the girl, Mike? What'd you do to the girl?
Come with me if you want to live. No, wait, that's something else. All right. So wait, was that everybody?
That's everybody but you.
Oh. Well then. All right. So by the time you're hearing this on YouTube, and for those of you that are listening live, this will be a change you'll notice soon. But I don't have anything to turn into a YouTube video. Like at all. So,
Wow.
because I didn't stream last night because of pain. And Mike and I had a conversation, I can't remember if it was in the odds and ends or after we got done with the Nerf report or what, I can't remember. But I spend a whole lot of time on YouTube, like having daily YouTube videos, for it to never pay me a dime ever. And that's dumb. So I think instead of lashing myself to the requirement of one YouTube video every day, because that's not paying off. Like, I put hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours into it, and I get like $100 every 6-8 months. Like, it's not worth it in the slightest. I'm not gonna abandon the YouTube channel by any means, but I'm not going to force myself to have constant YouTube stuff.
If it's just not worth it, then like the constant.
Yeah. Like, I thought that the one video a day would get me some consistency points with the algorithm, and it would grow naturally, and it hasn't, like, at all. So I'm still gonna finish all of the, like, Shadowgate and the Zangetsu only run of Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. And when I play other games that are YouTube friendly, they will go up on YouTube, just like, you know, everything else has. But I'm denying myself way too much stuff that I want to stream because I have to stream stuff for YouTube. And with, like, Friday night being the post-dash Skyrim stream, which everyone should come hang out. I play Skyrim and we'll shoot the breeze, you know. And Saturday being the watch party, and Monday being theoretically Monday Night Magic, and Thursday being theoretically the Mana Pool, and then Tuesday's my night off. That leaves me like Wednesday and Sunday to get YouTube footage for the week.
Ugh.
And invariably one of those I end up not streaming because, like, last night I had pain, so I didn't stream. And sometimes on Sunday, I've streamed every night this week except for Tuesday, and damn it, I want a night off. So, so that's going to open me up. I'll be able... That means I won't be sitting here doing YouTube stuff constantly all day. You know, editing videos and thumbnails and whatnot. Which means that opens me up to get the odds and ends caught up, finally. And it opens me up to stream more often. What?
Wow.
Yeah. But like I said, when I play stuff that is YouTube friendly, like I want to do the King of Cards, the final Shovel Knight expansion, well, that'll go up on YouTube, obviously. And like I talked before about doing like Limbo and Inside and I can never remember the third one because it's by a different company. Little Nightmares. I think those are YouTube friendly. So like when I stream those, they'll go up on YouTube, sure. But that also means that I can do things like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is a big ass Metroidvania in the style of Symphony of the Night. And that's not going to go to YouTube. That'd be a nightmare to try to turn into YouTube. Mm-hmm. So I won't. Hey, so that means that sometimes I'll have YouTube videos going up, and sometimes I won't. And that's fine. So yay.
You'll do what makes the most sense.
Yeah, instead of, like I said, just lashing myself to this idea to have a YouTube video every day. I've done that for I don't know how long now. Probably 2 years, maybe. At least one.
I don't get... I show up for the show. I help, create material for the show. I'm all in on this. But I don't do a whole lot with the publication side of content creation. I almost said I'm not a content creator, and I'm like, well, I'm sitting here making content. So maybe
that's not true. But
right. But my point is that every time I've heard from various channels that are content creators about the YouTube algorithm, it's hardly ever in
their favor.
Oh yeah, I know. It's a god awful nightmare.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's for channels that actually like make a living on YouTube, probably. I don't make any money from YouTube.
Right.
Like I said, they pay me for the few views I get, like every several months. I'll get it because you have to hit the minimum, which is $100. And I think I got one a couple months ago, and it blew me away. I was like, "Whoa, look at that!" Because they come so infrequently that I just don't think about it. So, and I spend way too much time and effort on something that literally doesn't matter. Whereas Twitch pays me every month. So why would I not grow that instead of trying to grow the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Every month?
Every month. I managed to hit the threshold where I reach the minimum payment every month. So every month on roughly the 15th, Twitch is like, hey, payment. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you. At least before I was like, oh my God, thank you, because I was usually out of money at that point in the month. But and had to go to the grocery store. So yeah, it's I think this will be good for me both mentally and like
content
wise, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll allow me to focus more on the one that's working. So all because last night I couldn't stream because my jaw hurt. Bad. Very bad. And I was like, it's the first time I haven't had anything to go up on YouTube. What am I going to do? I'll have to record like a Chewy vlog, and well, that doesn't do any good because I don't have. I'll have to not stream Skyrim on Friday. I'll have to stream something for YouTube. This is stupid. So so now it's not stupid. So that means until I think unless I just do this in a vlog, just to explain it to the few people that watch the YouTube channel, then there won't be another video go up on the YouTube channel until this does on Sunday. Hey. Excuse me. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there in case anyone cares that is listening. Why is it I magically get hiccups right before I start reading off the list of names?
Just how life rolls.
Good Lord, and they hurt. Ow. So yeah, by the way, don't forget, there's still the YouTube channel. It'll still be put to good use, just not constantly. Twitch.tv/TheManapool is where we do the live streams. Oh man, that's going to open me up to do more multiplayer stuff that I want to do, but I can't because I have to stream this other stuff for YouTube. Oh my god, this is going to be so good, y'all. It's going to be so good.
It's good to hear you excited, so.
Mike, this was you I talked about with right?
I know we've talked about it before. I don't know if is the recent conversation that you're remembering. I know we have talked about it before.
Maybe it was Bill this recently. Because I know we have, yeah. It might have been on the odds and ends for Monday night then. I can't remember. But because Mike and I have spoken on this several times, I just assumed it was Mike.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so yeah, if you want to help support what I do, hey, you can subscribe here on Twitch. Or if you have, don't forget, if you have Amazon Prime and you have a Twitch account, you have Twitch Prime, and you've got one subscription token you can give away every month. I'll take it. I love it. I appreciate you. I know that whenever they hop on Monday Night Magic, if Bill or I almost said if Bill or Squee, if Bill or Clues see that theirs is free, they're like, oh, here. I'm like, hey, thanks. They're like, I wasn't using it. Thanks. But so yeah. But don't forget, on Saturdays we do the TMP Watch Party here on Twitch. If you've got Amazon Prime, then hey, you can show up to the watch party. We watch 2 movies usually every Saturday night. Last Saturday was Footloose and Dirty Dancing, and it was amazing because the Clueses joined me. Because Jen had never seen Footloose, so we were like,
even I have seen Footloose. And then I haven't seen Dirty Dancing, but.
And then we bonded over how incredibly hot Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey were in Dirty Dancing. And by we bond, I mean me and Jen bonded over that.
Even though they hated each other.
When those two were in the water, we were both like, y'all, come on, stop. Whew. But anyway.
Do a poll for this week, right? It's just 2 that you wanted to see.
Yeah, so this week, if you're listening to this live, it's going to be The Ninth Gate and The Prophecy. So, sort of understated, weird supernatural thriller where Johnny Depp is a guy who smokes a lot of cigarettes. And Frank Langella is the bad guy. It's so awesome. And then The Prophecy, where Eric Stoltz is the good guy angel and Christopher Walken is the bad guy angel. And he just chews the scenery. Like, not like in an overacting way that he later became known for, but in that Christopher Walken is on screen, shut up and see what he does way.
Right. I've never seen that one, but I have seen The Ninth Gate, and it is trippy.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't do a poll because this is the last one, the last option in all the polls that I did in previous weeks, and it always got last place. So screw it, we're doing it. And next week, I just found out What did I say in the chat? I said it while you guys were doing your thing this morning. This morning at the beginning of the show. Crap, what did I just discover? Galaxy Quest. Galaxy Quest is on Prime, so we're totally watching that next week. Something Hell or High Water. I just have to figure out something to pair it with.
Fava beans.
And a nice Chianti. Silence of the Lambs is on Prime, but that doesn't go with Galaxy Quest at all.
No.
So, yeah. That's a thing. So, come hang out if you have that. But hey, if you want to help support what I do, patreon.com/themanapool is the best way. It's the most direct way. It's the money that goes straight to me to keep the lights on and keep doing all of this content that hopefully the streaming will get way better now. I'm like really excited about this new direction here. One Direction? You don't know you're beautiful. Okay, anyway. I just lost some patrons because of that. But
Demonetized.
So, oh crap, that too. So, hey, you can get Maniple episodes and YouTube videos early. Oh, dude, if I'm not worried about YouTube videos every day, I might be able to like make it a 48-hour early guaranteed thing. That sounds good. Because sometimes, you know, people get them like 8 hours early because I finally get it finished the night before it needs to go public. Okay, I'll look into that. You can get the odds and ends, which I got 3 more up today. I didn't mark them off my whiteboard. I need to mark them off the whiteboard so I don't get confused. The first plan is to get all of those knocked out, or at least most of them, in the near future. Since I'm not going to be sitting here working on videos, I can get those done while I made it to Diamond up in Hearthstone today while I was listening through those 3 too.
Oh, great.
So yay, I made it back to Diamond again. And then lost like 4 in a row and gave up. But you can also get the sponsorship shout out, the Mythic Lifeguards, for every YouTube video and every podcast episode. So, hey, I'd like to thank those people. Sorted in a different order this time, because why not? If it's going to be a different order every time than I'm used to, I might as well make it a different order every time. They removed the page that I used to read from. Because, yay, Patreon helps. So, I would like to thank, let's see here, Al, Kim Ho, who I missed on Monday Night Magic due to stupidity, my bad. Scuzzo, John Parker, Jake Jansons, Beardy Man, Team You Hellas Are You, PJ McMullen, The Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine. He's not at the end, that's so weird. Jason Kaus, Andrew Hunt, Lance Delicious, Cody Buckowing, Casey, Jeff Spencer, Danny Liao, John Morris, Jason Doan. I missed him last week on Monday Night Magic due to stupidity, my bad. Connor Kennedy. Crap. Hang on. Yours is not the name here. You are Backwards Logic. Haha! Aleph Cat, ALK Alters, and Gothic Man. Yay! So thank you to all of our Mythic Lifeguards and all of the Lifeguards at every level, because I quite literally could not do this without you. And I enjoy doing this for you, and I think I'm okay at it. So I appreciate it. But that is a whole lot of nonsense, so we're going to shut up now. So, this has been the Manipool number 596. Don't forget, next Saturday, which is the 25th, that's going to be Galaxy Quest paired with something else. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be awesome, because Galaxy Quest is, if it's not the best Star Trek movie, then it's in the top 3. Straight up. Yay. So, yeah, come join us. And thank you all so very much for joining us tonight. And go roll some not dysentery.
That would be good.